The top stories: a lying witness is sentenced to a year in jail. A Trinidad restaurant is headed to Hastings. And Barbados are beaten in Caribbean men's basketball. Welcome to Nation News for Wednesday, July the 2nd, 2014. The witness who deceived the court in a drugs case has been sent to jail for a year. Keeman Lewis had delivered to the Whole Town Magistrates Court a sick certificate purported to be on behalf of defendant Sebastian Thorpe. But the magistrate was later told by a doctor that it was not the accused, but Lewis, the witness, who he had examined. Lewis had claimed that he'd been given the certificate by an unknown man who had asked him to drop it off at the court. He was cited for contempt of court and sent overnight to Dodge Prison, returning in the morning to hear his sentence of 1 year. The main defendant, Sebastian Thorpe, is facing a charge of importing more than $1 million worth of marijuana, among other cases. A full report on the story will be in Thursday's Daily Nation. Bobby Clark is leading a second march. And veteran political activist says he has received permission from the police for a march on Saturday to protest against the economic hardships and what he calls the indifference of the two major political parties. About 100 people took part in the first march. Barbadian businessman and one-time political aspirant Hal Martin believes the Caribbean should reap revenue benefits from cannabis decriminalization, as some American states are now doing. Mr. Martin, a financial consultant in the United States, says one of his clients made $8 million last year from the marijuana business. He contends that it is unfair for people in the Caribbean to be criminalized for growing a plant that he said was indigenous to the region, while Americans were making millions doing the same thing. The Trinidad business invasion continues. The Barbados Business Authority reports that Buzo, a Trinidad-based Italian-style restaurant, plans to open a branch at Hastings, at the site where TGI Fridays used to operate. TGI, which closed last August, was also owned by a Trinidadian firm. Wanted man Cleve Anderson Hoyt is in police custody. Hoyt of Malverton, St. George, was held on Tuesday night. Police say the 44-year-old is assisting them with investigation of a number of serious matters. Prime Minister Frendel Stewart has joined his CARICOM colleagues at their mid-year summit in Antigua. The heads of government say they are seeking to bring greater unity and economic resilience to the region. Mr. Stewart, who is chairman of the Prime Ministerial Committee on Reparations, is expected to update his counterparts on the recommendations from the committee formed to deal with the controversial subject. Development issues such as climate change and trade negotiations are also on the summit agenda. ATM fraud is a growing threat, warns a government official. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Senator Sandiford-Garner, issued the caution at a disaster management symposium. She cited the case involving two Bulgarian nationals last year. They've been charged for stealing a substantial sum of money from ATMs. Senator Sandiford-Garner said discussion on hazards and disasters typically focused on natural hazards such as hurricanes, earthquakes, and tsunamis, or man-made hazards such as terrorism. But she added that there were other serious threats to consider, including fraud and health threats like the chikungunya fever. Students of the Albert Cecil Graham Center brought tears of joy to their parents' eyes at their graduation ceremony. The students at the special needs school sang and danced into the hearts of the audience as they performed at the St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Cathedral. Featured speaker Shanique Clark, a former school volunteer who is a graphic artist, told the graduates they were only limited by their imaginations. The big guns shone at the big show's big night. Hundreds of Calypso fans turned out on Tuesday night when the big show tent went before the judges for Pick of the Crop. Biggie Irie, who else? Plus Mikey, John King, Serenader, Adonijah, and Classic were the top performers according to fans. Soca King Mikey won many plaudits for his performance in this, his first year in the Pick of the Crop. 18 will be selected for the semi-finals at the Wilde Gymnasium on July the 18th. In sport, Barbados lost their opening match of the Caribbean Men's Basketball Championship in Tortola, a 65-53 disappointing setback to the U.S. Virgin Islands on Tuesday night. Hakeem Marsh, Andrea Lockhart and Jeremy Gill had 10 points each, but the Bajans had too many turnovers and missed free throws. The scores were tied 16-all at the end of the first quarter, but the USVI went on an 18-9 run to lead the rest of the way. A mixture of youth and experience will represent Barbados in netball in a tough draw at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. The team is again led by Latonia Blackman. Barbados will play Australia, England, South Africa, Wales and Trinidad and Tobago in pool matches at the Games, which open on July the 23rd. For more details on the team, log on to our website nationnews.com and read Thursday's Daily Nation. And finally, here's a story that might resonate with some viewers. 2 British women took revenge on an alleged love rat, that's a two-timing man, by publicly dumping him with a banner over a busy highway. The poster read, "Steve Fraser, you were dumped by both your girlfriends," and was seen by thousands of rush hour commuters in northern England. Newspaper reports say the pair decided to take matters into their own hands after meeting and commissioned the huge red and yellow sign with photographs of themselves and of Mr. Fraser. Okay, you know the TV show You're Fired? Well, you're dumped. That's Nation News for Wednesday. You can get your news your time, your way in the Daily Nation on Thursday on our website nationnews.com, as well as our YouTube channel, Facebook and Twitter.